invited back Marcel, but I don't know. He's probably in that meeting or something like that. But $100,000, that sounds like some damn y'all hear back in the Middle East, like the princes and shit, or whoever's getting the oil. That's how much they be getting a month, like 100 grand a month, and all that type of shit.
Yeah, they have like a over there in Saudi Arabia, the princes and stuff like that. They get like an endowment.
Oh my bad. Go ahead, John.
I was saying like the princes or whatever, like depending on how close they are to the throne, like that it depends on like how close they are to the throne and
I just sent him the link.
who's been yeah, like the closer you are to the throne, I guess the more money you get paid. But yeah, they get paid out like crazy over there. But nigga, here, bro, the United States government got the money for reparations if they paying them Native American tribes like that, bro. They can pay us just like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just a one-time thing, nigga. They can continue to pay us, nigga. Yeah, for the rest of our lives, bro. If it really came down to it, bro. I want casinos. I want all of that. The same thing that them Native Americans is getting, bro. I want the same thing for our people, bro. I want that for us, bro. Literally, nigga, you got Native Americans, bro, who are not working, bro, because that's how much money and reparations that they getting, bro. Literally, I've never seen anything like that, nigga. Literally, the damn. That's crazy.
Now, I just want Gabriel. What are your policies you're going to specifically do for us when you plan to run your trash campaign for everyone else except the citizens?
I know you're not speaking about trash campaigns now.
What?
I know you're not speaking about trash campaigns.
Yes, I am, and I'm speaking about trash people. Now,
people that.
What are you going to do specifically for Black Americans? First of all, I went against the most powerful Black American in the U.S. with no money. I really just had 3 months on the ground, and I still got 5% of the vote. I've done my research. Most people get less than 1% of the vote when they run against a person who's an incumbent and who is already pretty well established. And I'm proud of what people helped me do. It's not about winning an election. It's about winning the race. And now South Carolina, the Black Caucus, has a reparations subcommittee. Now the South Carolina Black Caucus is doing a reparations workshop. And now I have Republicans and Democrats. Well, these ones are Democrats because they're actually trying to do good by Black Americans who are calling me, wanting to work with me. And not all of them are the Democrats, but the fact is it should all be the Democrats because they wouldn't exist without us. So they ain't doing us no favor. They're doing what they had to hush your mouth. They're doing what they had to hush your mouth. They're doing what they had a chance to do 60 years ago. Now, you answer my question. What are the policies you are specifically going to do for the citizens of American slaves? I'm asking this to show what a sellout and anti-Black American terrorist you are.
And that's a good thing because you're participating in the political process.
I don't need no nation telling me.
If reparations is going to happen,
no nation telling me. I don't need no immigrant telling me what I should do in my nation. First of all,
I'm just saying, if reparations is going to happen,
anyway,
through the Democratic
no,
Party.
If it was going to happen by the Democrats, it would have happened already because they had 60 years to do it and it did not. First of all,
looking in the future, it's going to happen through the Democratic Party.
Because it's only happening via Black Americans who are reparationists. Now, what are the policies you are going to do?
Oh, I've already said criminal justice reform, healthcare, kitchen tables, like
I said
for just providing.
I said specifically for us, not things that are just going to possibly disproportionately benefit us. We see that never happens. What are you going to specifically say? This is for the descendants of American slaves, freedmen.
No, these are
specifically. You tell me what you're going to specifically do for my lineage. Now.
All of these could be stipulated as for Black Americans.
Explain it.
Because when you talk about healthcare, the thing is about these like everybody.
What policies are you going to specifically do for us? Like right now, they did it for the Japanese.
Are you going to keep muting me? Or are you going to listen? Are you going to keep muting me? Or are you going to listen? Because if it's not reparations, you're just going to keep muting me. Because it's not just reparations.
Answer my question. They have policies on the books right now for LGBTQ. They just did the defense.
What policy?
They just did the defense. Shut your mouth and listen. They just did the act to make sure that interracial marriages, same-sex marriages will be protected. Right now, hush your mouth. Right now, they have policies that they're specifically doing for immigrants. They're trying to pass the New Deal for new Americans.
They haven't passed immigration reform since '65.
They have money that they've set aside. Okay, even better, showing that they do it then. They have money they've set aside specifically.
Black Americans got a lot of bills done in the 1960s.
So, no, we don't. They have money.
The Fair Housing Act wasn't for Black Americans.
No, they don't. They have money.
The Fair Housing Act '68.
I said shut your mouth. Now, they have money they set aside for Afghani refugees that they're sending to the nation of Ukraine, no questions asked. They have policies where they specifically excluded Black Americans, but
what's wrong with sending money to Ukraine?
So what are you going to specifically do for the sins of American slaves? I'm asking you again.
First, I'm gonna start with the education. First, I would start with the education system.
What will be the policy?
Because you said immigrants.
What will be the policy?
I just need 30 seconds.
What will be the policy?
I'm trying to answer you. You just keep interrupting.
I'm waiting.
But I'm saying it has to start with the younger generation. We need the opportunities that Black Americans do not get that other groups get. They need to be afforded. What's
the policy? What's the policy? Let me give you an example. My plan is to bring back the Freedmen's Bureau. That's one thing. Your president could do that right now, but he refuses to bring back the Freedmen's Bureau so that it can help serve all the needs of freemen, descendants of American slaves. Of course, you know about reparations. I also have a plan where I want to have us have our own freemen schools. Okay? What's your policies for descendants of American slaves?
You keep interrupting me every time I ask.
You're not answering the question.
I didn't answer the question. And if we want to have a serious conversation, maybe if you want to have a serious conversation about policies working for Black Americans, maybe we can have that serious conversation. But you're just going to attack me and just interrupt me.
I don't need to talk to no shit about no serious conversation. Nothing. What's your plan to do?
You going to keep interrupting me?
I'm waiting.
You gonna keep interrupting me, or can I go? Okay then. So, like you said, it starts with our younger generations. They're not being afforded. A lot of Black Americans are not being afforded the opportunities that other groups get. They're not giving them the same resources that other groups get. It starts if we start there and push younger Black Americans to job opportunities, collegiate opportunities at the collegiate level, then that will set up the generation that will set up the next generation in a better position. So that's just where I started, but I haven't gotten to like a whole platform. But that's just one instance.
So pretty much you have no policies for us. Y'all, someone needs to do this guy. All I'm going to say is Kennedy. That's all I'm going to say. If he runs for office, that's all I'm going to say. I'm tired of y'all running for office on our neck. Kennedy.
You said what?
Kennedy. That's what I said. If you run for office, one word for you, Kennedy.
Kennedy? Like assassinated?
I said what I said. You are going to run and do not a damn thing specifically for the sins of American slaves. You have
run for office. You would threaten
Kennedy.
Out of the shot.
Kennedy.
And y'all endorsed this man, bro.
Oh, you about to say nigga? See? Let the real anti-Black American hate come out. So he's about to call a descendant of American slave nigga.
I'm gonna endorse this man, bro.
Kennedy.
Are you serious, bro?
I'm very serious. You're not gonna come here and neglect my people. How fucking dare you come here, be able to run for office because
of you
refuse to do policies. They refuse to do policies.
You a grown man threatening my life over.
You better You better not run for office.
Hey, Marcel. Hey, Marcel. Did you see? Hey, Marcel. Did you see that video on D. Tubman's page about the wealthiest Native American tribes and how much they get paid per year?
I know one of them is so wealthy they give $1 million to each member of the tribe. I know that one of them.
They literally, bro, like if everybody, I don't know if people follow her on the follow her page, but there's literally a tribe where they get so much reparations money that literally nobody in the tribe works.
Yep.
So
this guy here won't do anything for us.
This nation has the
gotta
money
make
for
these politicians pay for neglecting us. They have to pay. We can't let them keep doing this to us and getting away with it.
I never said I was against reparations.
You never said you're for it, so that's just as bad.
You said it's vital.
You won't do anything for us. I'm through talking with you. If you run for office, I hope Kennedy happens. That's all I'm going to say.
That's an effed up person to say. You want me to die over a disagreement on politics, bro?
Policy has ruined the lives
Where's your morality?
Policy, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Get off. You want me to die?
Policy
you have a
has ruined the lives. Policy has ruined Kennedy, Kennedy, Warnock, Kennedy, all of you. Policy has ruined the lives. Policy has ruined the lives of many. Policy has ruined millions of my people's lives. Millions. Do you see the poverty, the medical malpractice, the homelessness, the landlessness that Black Americans are in? Policy did that. So maybe for you, policy is not that big of a deal. For my people, policy that has hurt us and lack of policy that was meant to repair us has been everything. So it is a life and death matter. So you don't see it that way, but it is. Kennedy.
And like, bro, like real talk, bro. Like you should be focused in on Haiti, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what your main focus should be. Haiti, give reparations for Haiti. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't tell me where my focus should be. Yeah, my focus is on American politics.
I mean, the thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Kennedy. If he runs for office, Kennedy.
This bro is a clown, bro.
Shut your mouth. You a clown, a cool, and a sellout. You terrible.
Going to sell out. Hey, say what's up to Bakari Sellers for me, bro.
Bakari sellout, keep kissing ass and neglecting Black Americans like a little punk coon hoe.
I only see this type of treatment on Twitter. When I talk to Black Americans, when I talk to voters,
he will find you eventually.
Did he say voters?
Because when I canvass for,
I'm sure he will find you eventually.
I mean, nigga, when I went door to door talking to bait.
Like I said, if you get to office, Kennedy. If you try to run for office, please, Kennedy.
He does look more like a Kennedy. He looks more like a Kennedy than a Gabriel.
When I went to talk to voters in Georgia over this last election about their issues and the issues they need, a lot of the issues that came up was healthcare, that prescription drugs are too much, that things are too expensive.
Why did you talk to non-voters?
I know you talking.
Exactly.
This nigga talking to baby boomers, cuz.
I'm talking.
He talking to 90.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who you talking to, bro?
He talking to 65 and 70-year-olds and people who are part of the Divine Nine, Greek fraternities and the Boulets. He's not talking to people. And let me tell y'all something. That's another thing that's something. Shut your mouth. Shut up. That's something Bum tries to say too. Well, Black people ain't mentioned reparations. First of all, it is a job of a leader to say, even if you don't realize you need it, this is what you're owed. Shut your damn mouth. I've spoken to Japanese officials who helped do the Japanese reparations for interned Japanese. Guess what? When they tried to do it, some of the older Japanese were against it. They felt it was an insult for the government to say, we're going to pay you for your suffering. They felt that was devaluing their suffering. They didn't even want it at first. But Japanese leaders and some white leaders said, you deserve this, and they fought fought for it. So don't try to use that excuse because you haven't heard a lot of Black Americans mention it.
That's not even what my point was. You're mischaracterizing what I'm saying, bro. Like I don't understand why.
You are a
I don't
disgusting
understand why. I don't understand why you keep mischaracterizing what I'm saying, bro. And threatening my life on top of that because we disagree on a political issue, bro. That's lame as hell. That's lame as hell, bro.
You threatened me for the past 2 hours.
I've been no threat to you. I've never insulted you. Only way I've insulted you is you losing the
insulted me
class,
and
bro.
you've threatened me. You've insulted and you've threatened me. You've insulted me by
I've
insulting
only
my
said,
people.
only say you lost a classroom. You talk about my life. You talk about my life.
You've insulted me by saying you're not going to do a damn thing for my people and trying to justify why we don't deserve nothing. You've insulted me. You've threatened my life. And I'm going to report it. You've insulted me and you've threatened me.
I think let's get to the hands.
I don't feel safe.
Let's get to the hands.
You threaten my life. Talk about Kennedy's, bro. Talk about Kennedy.
Mr. Ali, go ahead, bro. Mr. Ali, go.
Hey, good evening or afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't mute my microphone, y'all, so that's feedback. I'm sorry because it won't let me mute.
Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you. Hey, yeah, I just joined to, I was trying to like get into these spaces to learn and see what's going on. But what I wanted to know is, when it comes to the issue of reparations for Black Americans, I don't know why people are against it. But like you said, nobody questioned the Native Americans or any of the other groups. And I don't know if it's because economic reasons, since Black Americans are like 40 million people, are they thinking that reparations can't be done because of the large amount of money that's owed, or if it's because...
Y'all, hold on, Ali. Stop. No, stop. I'm sorry, y'all. We got to get we're not getting these numbers right, and it bothers me. We are at least 50 million. At least. I don't know why y'all people keep saying 40 million. Now, I know all of that 50 million, and by the way, that's what the census undercounting us. But y'all, we get the numbers wrong. We keep saying reparations is 20 trillion. No, it's a minimum of 70 trillion. We keep saying we're 40 million. Y'all, in 2019, they said our population was 47.2 million. So ain't no way 6 million of us then died. Okay, we got to get these numbers right. We're at least 50 million, and that's what the census undercounting us around 5 million. So at minimum, it's 55 million. Let's get these numbers right. And I know all of that are not descendants of American slaves, but still. Okay, let's get these numbers right. Gabriel, you're disgusting. I'm sorry, Ali. Go ahead. You are disgusting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, what I meant was because people, like, I guess, always throw out the economic reasons for not being for it. And secondly, like last week I came across this guy just randomly, and I don't know how we got into it, but we're talking about Native Americans, and he was talking about casinos and stuff like that. And he said his dad is Mexican and his mom was French Canadian, but he looked white. But he said, oh, Native Americans, they own and casinos, they get this much money a month. They're all rich. He said they deserve it. This was their land. Europeans came. Then I said, how about Black Americans, Black people? He said, I don't know about that. He said, and he threw out a lot of the negative Black American like stereotypes, like, I don't want to say it, but they don't work hard, stuff like that. But
what did you say what did you say when it said it? That's why I want to know. What did you say when it said it?
I said the same exact reasons. I said, how's it any different? That's the same exact. And because he gave out all the arguments for the Native Americans, and I said, that's exactly what it is for Black Americans. There were people here, people took advantage of them, used them to build a country, and you're saying they're not owed anything.
How dare that quote unquote Native Americans say that when we came to this place, it was pretty much a hinterland, and we made it what it is today, first and foremost. But he has that same anti-Black American attitude that Gabriel here has. So pretty much, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Shut your mouth. You're disgusting. Shut your mouth. And second of all, if anybody says about you, shut your mouth.
Anti somebody.
You are. Now shut your mouth. Anyway, and if he really cares about the economy, then they will be supporting reparations because that's the best thing you can do for the economy. Because of not doing reparations, this economy has lost close to $20 trillion since the year 2000.
Yeah, so what amazed me was like his face changed when I asked that, and like if he totally changed. So I'm saying I don't know, like, are people just evil, or Are they just going by stereotypes? Or
They're
are they
anti-Black American.
not understanding or what? But
No, they understand perfectly. They know we're old. They know this country can afford it. They're anti-Black American. A good example is Gabriel here. So yeah, that's that.
It's a part of the culture of America. Like that's that's the main reason for them enslaving us, was to now distribute all of this nation's resources, wealth, every piece of this nation's wealth into the hands of the dominant white society. That's literally the purpose of what they did to us. So us receiving reparations is literally like an act of warfare against the United States government and the dominant white society. So that's the reason why they're so against it, because they hate us because we are black, but they're able to harm us because we're poor. So once we have the economic wherewithal to actually change that, a lot of the stuff that you see, within our communities and stuff, a lot of that stuff is going to end within one calendar year.
and that's what, like, when I thought about it, I was like, actually, one of the main reasons might be because Black Americans are native people, so they know that this is their land, this is their country. Without money and resources, they're going to come up with inventions, with ideas, they'll take over the culture, like change the system. So they're a threat compared to immigrants or like Native Americans, because Native Americans are a very small population and they're in their little like camps. But Black Americans have potential that's being held back. So I think that's what they're afraid of when they talk about reparations.
And here's the cold part too. A lot of those Native American tribes were also part of the slave trade here. So they also participated and fought in the Confederacy and all of that. So they also owe reparations too. So, a lot of them, they don't really like even really speaking about Black Americans receiving reparations, because they know that they also owe too. They also kicked Black natives out of their tribes and stuff like that, and they owe them money. So yeah, it's a real deep thing.
Hey, but also, can I ask Marcel? I think you're in politics, right? And Mr. Gabriel, since you guys are in politics, and
No, I'm in the business of helping to repair Black America, to help America. Gabriel is what you call into politics, selling out, being evil and wicked, and making sure Black Americans stay to the bottom, no, by any means necessary. That's politics. But yes, you may ask me a question.
That is not what I
okay,
said.
Gabriel, anti-Black American. That he can't even bring himself to say one thing he will specifically do to help us. That is
Hey, you
an
can't bring it
enemy,
up. So when
y'all.
you advocate
That
for a
is an
policy,
enemy,
you have to demean
y'all.
to do
That
it.
is an
That's
enemy.
messed up, bro.
That
That's
is
messed
an
up.
enemy. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard what he just said? Oh, you can't screw other people. He ain't saying nothing about these groups. Like Ali just mentioned, these Native Americans getting things just for them. But he's so against us getting things for us. Shut up, you're an enemy. Ali, guess what
It's
question
just a
you have?
disagreement in dollar amount, not if you if
Ali, yes, Ali, what question do you have?
yeah,
Obviously, this is some immigrant.
yeah. Well, what I wanted to ask was, like American politics, like you want to be a politician, you have to choose one of the sides, Republican or
No, you
Democrat,
don't. No, you
and
don't.
generally, if you want
yes,
to
No,
go
you
like,
don't.
you're right.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
Gabriel, shut the hell up. You just got here last week from Haiti. Okay? Your parents probably ran to the Dominican
I've
Republic and
never been
ran
to
them
Haiti.
out.
I've never been to Haiti.
Your parents, most of your people are running over to the Dominican Republic and don't even want you. Okay? So don't come here telling us how it works. No, you don't, Ali. Now, it is probably the easiest route to take. My attitude is that we do take over all parties, Republican, Democrat,
No way you promoted for the Republican Party.
and shut your mouth. And we run on a reparations platform within any party. But what's your question, though?
okay, yeah. What I was gonna say was, like politics change over time. Like 10 or 15 years ago, like I don't remember anybody talking about like transgender and even like immigration, like what do they call these cities, sanctuary cities, stuff like that.
Yeah, they
Now,
need to be banned. Go
but
ahead,
now
please.
that's part of the like the democratic platform. Like if you're a Democrat, you could talk about any of those issues, promote them, and bring them up, but you can never talk about black issues. So do you think it's just a matter of time? Like it just needs grassroots movement to push it forward till it becomes part of the, I guess, national and political
Well,
scene.
we
And
need to put. Well, first of all, this country is only this country. The reason this country has sellouts like Gabriel here and coons like him, and unfortunately, because Black Americans have always tried to push, we've always been the ones to push this country and progress this country in science and politics in the area of human rights. So the reason this country can even allow a person to say, I'm staying gender loving, and they can have all their quote unquote rights, and you got these immigrants like Gabriel here who hates Black Americans, who unfortunately can come here and have his quote unquote freedom, is because Black Americans have pushed this country to be a fair and equitable country. We need to be more hateful, actually. We need to be way more hateful than what we are. But yes, it's always been Black Americans who were not in the political parties that have stood up and say, hey, this is what's right. When it was slavery, everyone said slavery wasn't going to happen. Gabriel would have actually been one of those blacks they are saying, we ain't never gonna be free.
Why
And I'm
you
just
keep
asking
invoking
how
my name when they
Gabriel, you are I got your
why do
call.
you
Shut
keep
your
why do
mouth.
you keep
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now. Anyway, we've
oh you're
always
not gonna
had
keep
people
name
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Okay? We had people saying that slavery will never end, and it did. We have people saying that Jim Crow and redlining will never end, and it hasn't really. But on paper, it's supposedly illegal. Okay? So now we got people saying, oh, reparations, 70 trillion, which is the minimum, okay, is not a reasonable amount. We got a Haitian immigrant in our chat telling us in our country that it's not reasonable for us to get what we're owed when the way we've been treated and abused for years is not reasonable while his people are eating mud pies.
the numbers
Yeah,
don't add
we
up.
always are going to push. We always are going to push this country to do what it needs to do by hook or by crook. I say we've been too nice. I say we haven't been hateful and angry and violent enough. And yes, you can also, yes, hate and anger and violence have their places within reason when it comes to fighting for justice.
There you go.
Well, to Mr. Ali's
Gabriel. Dr. Short, you can go, and then Gabriel, I'll let you have a just a minute 30 rebuttal.
Hey, greetings to the room. Greetings to everybody. Brother Marcel, blessings, peace to you. Look, as a Black American with Haitian family, with Haitian genetic family, Mr. Gabriel, I agree with Marcel. Not so much about you, I don't know you, but I'm going to make reference to my dear friend, Raymond Fontroy, was leader of the Black community down in Miami, Florida, who fought to get the Haitians out of the concentration camps in Florida. This man gave basically his life to help Black Haitians. The Black Haitian community has stabbed him in the back, as the Cubans and all the others have. And South Florida, the Bahamians have dogged the Black folks in Florida. And the same Haitians that let the Jews, the Syrians, and everybody else take what's in Haiti, but come to America and they bogart Black Americans. Why not take over that island and make it work for you? In fact, send money back and not turn their backs on the people in Sitsaye and the other places, which they don't do. I agree with Marcel. We need to be more sharp because people are too welcome here, and then they come in and take over. There's a guy named Pinel Joseph. I've seen a crop of Haitians that are put in positions, and they fight against Black Americans. I want to say historically, for the last 100 years, Black Americans have been outspoken against how Haitians have been treated in Haiti by the U.S. government, even when we couldn't walk around without being lynched. There was one point when my family lived in Haiti because the early governments of Haiti welcomed people to come down, okay, and I recognize that as well as people who came and fought in Savannah for freedom. That's a different generation of Haitians. I'm not certain if you're not a baby doc, Papa Doc, or one of these Haitian types. In fact, I want to tell you at Howard University, speaking out for Haitian rights, by the way, Marcel. You know, the Haitian students tried to have me thrown out of school for simply saying that the government wasn't looking out for the people. This is the kind of stuff that happens with tethers, and they act like they're legit. And in reality, I even know, I can tell you within the last 2 years, I was trying to get something for Haitian Americans, even through the Trump people. And the Haitian American was jealous of what would be given to us in our country instead of getting what they could get for themselves. People from other groups have a right to their own interest, but they do not have a right to speak to any of our issues. They need to butt out, stay out, or get kicked out. We can't take this stuff anymore. It's wrong, and I don't care who it is. People have no business in our business, and we need to stop. We give people a pass on being black. That's not enough. Who are you for? What will you? In fact, we need to be hard on our own traitors. Anybody that's not for us, 100% the way we want them to be for us, is against us. Plain and simple. Let me stop. Keep the fight up, Marcel.
And the thing is too, bro, like Haitians, y'all know better, bro, because y'all know what Dessalines did and what Toussaint and them did before they started dealing with them white supremacists down there, bro. Y'all know, you know better.
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead, and I'm gonna go to bear arms.
But to his point that we like, it's not like we don't help Haiti. We do send money down there. We do help out with different organizations and different foundations to try to help Haiti. So like when we come over to this country, we don't.
It's both sides, sir. You've got slavery. They're called restivics, where Haitians enslave each other. Don't you try that with me. I'm not a lot of people think Black Americans are stupid. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. Some of us have traveled. I told you I have Haitian family. Don't mess with me in here. Look, don't play with me. I've got Haitian roots. My family lived in Haiti. Don't play with me.
I'm not even attacking.
Yeah, I'm attacking you. Okay. They're not doing enough for Haiti. You got Haitians bringing dope in this country to kill Black Americans. Don't do it. Yes, it is true. It's true. Haiti is a transshipment. Haiti is a transshipment nation for the CIA to bring dope into this country. Your government is corrupt, and the people that enforce it, of course, and the ones here that they send over here are corrupt too.
USA's government corrupt too.
Yeah, of course. And you want to get with it because you guys identify with the same white people that are stealing all the materials and stuff from your country. You guys play it both ways. On one hand, you're black, then come to America and want to get with white folks against us. This is the game that black foreigners play, and we don't like it. We're angry about it. We're not going to take it anymore. And as a person of some Haitian ancestry, held to the note, we're coming here. Black Americans help everybody else. Everybody helps themselves. Everybody else helps themselves, and then play games. Oh, yes, you do. And that is a problem. Why isn't Ray Fontroy a name that you know, brother? He got your folks out of concentration camps, and this man doesn't have a penny to his name. These folks are millionaires. They would have never had anything without the sacrifice.
Hold on real quick. Let me say real quick, Dr. Short Gabriel, you may not be against us, but you sure as hell ain't for us. So that's the same thing as being against us. If you couldn't name one policy you specifically do for us, definitely didn't name reparations as one. So you are against us. I'm sorry, Dr. Short, you may continue.
That's not true, first of all. But to directly attack me like I'm against Black Americans is just an unfair characterization of what I stand for. And just to say that because I'm Haitian is just, I don't understand that.
Is it my go?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. Yeah, no doubt. First off, shout out to Wycliffe for running for president in Haiti. You know, I mean, this is making me appreciate him even more now. for people that like he did decide to go back home and make change, especially if you're gonna fly your flag all over the damn place. You know what I mean? First off, I've coming from someone who lived in the Caribbean for 2 years. I've been to Port-au-Prince. When I was down in Port-au-Prince, I've been to Port-au-Prince, been a few different places in Haiti. I didn't see any Black Americans running for office trying to dictate and control things. So yeah,
Two
I
different
wasn't.
countries. Two different
Oh,
countries.
okay, yeah. So I didn't see anybody trying to control things down there. Um, and I also, just to give a set of precedents for who I am. I'm a descendant of U.S. slaves. I come from a long line of coal miners on both sides here in the Virginias. Men who died early from black lung in their 30s and 40s, taking care of their family. Making pennies on the dollar, doing it for free, of course, and being exploited, and then making pennies on the dollar to take care of their families. Once emancipation happened. I'm also, I have, I'm also a war veteran for multiple different campaigns. I come from a long list of, veterans as well. So I have, I feel like I have a lot of sweat equity here in the United States. I feel like I'm qualified to speak on behalf of my people, and I feel like I feel like I can do it. I feel like I have my people's best interests at heart, especially people that share the same lineage as me. Gabriel, I was just curious, what equity, do you have here in the United States? Like, what is your like? How long have you been here? And also, how long have you been here? What equity and what type of equity do you have here in the United States? And also, what do you like? What drives you? What do you? How do you feel like you're qualified to speak on behalf of Black Americans? I'm really curious about that. Like, how do you feel entitled enough to speak on behalf of us?
I'm not. First of all, I was born here in America. It's a country I've known all my life. It's the only country I've known all my life. I've never been outside this country. I'm a child of Haitian immigrants, of course, but who became citizens before I was born, and I've kind of grown up around Black Americans
So you
throughout
just got here.
my
Your
whole
family
life. Is just
your
getting
family.
here.
How old are you?
Huh? I'm
How old
21
are
years
you?
old. 21.
Okay, so 21 years. Okay. So okay, go ahead.
So basically, yes, America is the only country I've ever known. I grew up around, went to school with, mingle with, have roommates with now in my apartment with Black Americans. I've been in the community in the greater Georgia metro Atlanta area, and and I'm a part of American politics because America says that on paper, if you're a citizen, you have say in the government. So that's what it says on paper. I could speak on different issues, and I'm not trying to speak on behalf of of African Americans. I'm not trying to speak to or talk down. I'm trying to speak with and have a conversation with. We might have disagreements, but I'm not trying to talk down to Black
Are you
Americans.
currently running? You're currently running for office now.
No, I'm not even a candidate. I'm not even a candidate. I only just worked for the Democratic Party. I'm not a candidate.
But you plan on doing so in the future?
If the opportunity ever presents itself, then
I
maybe.
figured that.
But I don't know yet.
We need more candidates, guys. We need more people running because this is a problem. And I've dealt with people. I've dealt with people like you. Gabriel. I've dealt with a lot of people like you, and we
What is
need more
like me?
people running. I've dealt with a lot of people that have the exact same mindset as you. You feel like you're telling us why we don't deserve reparations. Like
I never
like you're
said. Yeah,
you,
I've never said that out of my mouth. I
we're
just
not going
disagree.
to. You're playing. This is semantics. This is semantics.
No, I never
Earlier,
said. I said Black people do deserve reparations.
but you were saying you don't see how the numbers work or whatever. You were saying like you were going back and forth with Marcel about you don't know how it
Because
works.
$70 trillion is not a reasonable amount. It's just
Wait,
it's
wait.
just the
Not
numbers
reasonable
don't
to
add up.
who,
That's
Gabriel? See,
who.
I addressed this
That's
To
earlier.
the
who.
I addressed this earlier. You wouldn't even
basic
address the.
economics.
Okay,
It's just
Gabriel, we're gonna do this again. Let's take this like
he said
preschool.
he
In
said
the
five he said
jumbotron,
5 trillion.
Gabriel. In the jumbotron,
He didn't
Gabriel.
even ask you, bro. He didn't even
Okay,
ask you, bro.
no, because you keep saying 70 trillion ain't realistic. We're gonna show you how that's not true. So if you're gonna say some shit,
Have it based in facts.
Stand
Now,
on it.
in the Jumbotron,
Facts
we have
are
the
something. The facts
treasury.gov.
support me.
Okay. I thought we could do this, Gabriel. It's very simple here, bro. In the Jumbotron, there's the treasury.gov. Do you know what that is? Let's start there. Do you know what the treasury is, Gabriel?
I know what the Department of the Treasury is, yes.
Okay. So now in the Jumbotron there, if you will look at the FedWire and tell me the volume for 2021 alone, tell me the volume.
The value,
Volume.
the volume in 2021,
Yes, on the FedWire. Please tell me that number.
$200 million.
Nope.
It is not 9100.
Okay, are you saying that it's not something that it is?
I'm saying it's not.
Okay,
it's not,
no.
I'm saying it's not the number
why
that
are you having
it's
such
not
a hard
number
time,
that
sir,
the,
answering the
it's
question?
not the number that United States
Okay,
is
I
capable
need
of
you
handing
to first off give me that number.
Huh?
Tell me the number that is there. Can you not read? You're acting like it's complicated to read, so it's hard to take you serious after some
You're
shit like
not.
that.
You're mischaracterizing.
I'm not
mischaracterizing what
mischaracterizing
the numbers
anything.
are
You can't even
saying,
give me a number.
That's not what the numbers are saying. The
I
numbers
didn't
are not
mischaracterize.
saying
I
the United
asked
States
you a
have.
fucking question. You can't answer.
United.
Do you
The
see how
numbers are
you
not
see the
saying
problem
the
here?
numbers.
Well, hold on. Let me stop real quick. Gabriel, you're a hypocrite. You've been proven wrong several times.
I have
You've been
not.
proven wrong.
I have
Hush your
not.
mouth. Yes, you have.
Not.
You've been
Can't
Because
even.
we
proven
all
wrong
know
He
several
can't even
times.
read a
budget.
number
This
for real.
country,
This is like a
this
little kid.
country,
Okay, bro.
this
Just because he don't
country,
believe some shit, he don't want
right?
to read a
You've been
fucking
proven
number.
wrong
The
several
evidence
times.
I didn't
say
even
on
get
the
to my next
contrary. If
point.
you looked up how much money we spent in
I didn't ask you all that.
Hold on, Art, stop. We don't need to give this despicable tether any more of our time. I mean, of course, we can start the discussion, but he's already made it clear he's anti-Black American. He is just like his mentor, Warnock. They don't want to do a
I've
damn
never
thing.
said that.
Gabriel, you can't even answer a fucking question.
He couldn't even name a policy that he would entertain doing specific to citizens American slaves. This is an enemy. This is an enemy. We've already shown that Obama alone in 2011 spent $30 trillion to save the banks. Yes, they want to say that the loans were paid back. Actually, some of the debt was canceled. This whole other story. But the fact that money was doled out anyway shows that this nation can generate as much revenue as it needs. That was just the banks alone. That doesn't include the military
That article
budget.
disproves his
Touch your
point.
mouth.
The article
Hush your mouth and stop trying to lie. It's been shown
disproves his
that every
point.
time you hush your mouth, and I mean it, every time a president has generated more money into the economy, Roosevelt, Obama, and Trump, three of the highest spenders, the economy has actually boomed. Okay? They've actually saved the economy by infusing revenue into it.
The economy only boomed under Roosevelt because of World War II, not because of the.
Like someone mentioned, the Afghanistan and Iraq war alone, they were spending $300 million a month or something like that. They spend $60 million a day taking care of illegal immigrants. And this despicable anti-Black American terrorist wants to tell us reasonable. You better get the whole hell on. So I'm not even entertaining the bad faith arguments with him. He's just going to run as a Democrat and be the same old, we not going to do nothing for the Black Americans. And like I said, Kennedy is necessary.
He probably supports immigration too. Illegal immigration costs us around $1 billion a year.
He does support illegal immigration. Yes, he does.
Immigration helps the economy. Literally helps the economy.
Now look at him speaking.
Bullshit. Immigration is a legal process, sir. There's no such thing as an illegal immigrant. You either came in the country lawfully or you're an invader.
Exactly.
You're an illegal. There's no such thing as illegal immigration. They've got us talking that's mumbo jumbo. He's saying that people who come to this country unlawfully deserve the same benefits as us. And yet he's going to qualify what kind of reparations we get. Yes, you have. Stop lying. We're not stupid. I'm almost 3 times your age, brother. I see through your scam. First of all, you work with Warnock. Warnock is a crook. I have it on good account that Warnock takes money from Ebenezer Church. So
He
you're under a
is the
crook.
pastor.
So yeah, you're under a crook.
He is the
So
pastor.
don't tell me. Yeah, he's a pastor and he's taking stuff. Where did the CPE money go? The CE, whatever the hell the money is. I've
What are
been
you
down there.
talking
You got
about?
homeless people across the street from that damn
And
church.
he don't do nothing about it.
He don't care a damn. That's
Couldn't
who
even
you work
answer a
for.
simple
That's
fucking
who
question unless
your
he wants to
mentor
come out
is.
talking some
Someone who
shit.
abuses children in Baltimore. They scrub the records to hide. A person that wants to kill black babies, even when they're alive. That's your mentor.
So you're not
Get
pro-choice.
get out my face, man.
No, we're pro-Black American life. If you want to be pro-choice so bad, take that to Haiti.
Yes.
That's an
And they
American
want to wipe out the
principle.
people in Haiti. And then you know
Abortion's
what? They'll
illegal
come
in
and
Haiti.
cry to us to help them.
Abortion's illegal in Haiti.
That's
Yeah,
why I'm saying.
exactly.
You
But
don't
why do you want
want
it for us? Why
That's
are
what
you
I'm saying.
talking that crap for us, you hypocrite?
Because
You're a
Americans have
fraud.
crack.
You're
If you want to kill black babies, then you go to Haiti with that mess. Don't try to come in here killing our damn babies. Don't come here trying to kill our babies.
Having abortion. We're better off giving women the
But
right
now,
to choose
listen,
over
y'all. You notice how passionate he is about illegal immigration, who are criminals, about abortion, killing babies. You don't have none of that passion when it comes to stand for the sins of Black Americans. Y'all, we have to either run for office or these type of creatures are going to run us out of here. I refuse to let that happen.
Amen.
Y'all can see in the Jumbotron how much the federal budget actually is and how much
This
the
is
government
one
actually
of the reasons the federal budget is whatever they decide it will be. And they
That's not true, Marcel, and you know it.
No.
That is fucking true, Gabriel.
That's
You
not
wouldn't
true.
even answer fucking questions. You're posting some blogger usfacts.org. I posted the treasury.fucking.gov, and you couldn't even give me the fucking number. I pasted a .gov. You want to put up a .org, bruh. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. You couldn't even answer a simple fucking
where do you think they're getting the
3-digit number,
information
bruh.
from? Where do you think they're
You
getting
couldn't
the
even
information
answer the
from?
number I
Where do
asked.
you think you're
I
getting
asked
the
a simple
information?
question you couldn't
Total
answer.
value.
Now all of a sudden you can run your
value
trippy
is
trap,
not the
bruh.
money.
Like what the fuck are you talking about?
Total
When I asked
value is
the
not the
question,
money
you
they
couldn't
have in the
answer. Now all of a
federal
sudden you
government.
gotta talk.
They're not. It's not the money they have in the federal government, bro.
Politics,
Not, bro.
man. You just a politician,
It's just
bro.
not.
That's
The
all you
total
are. That's
value
all
is
you
not
ever
how much
be.
money they have.
You don't even understand.
Y'all, this is why I can never say I'm completely against political violence. And more I'm starting to understand why in some countries that's what they do. More and more. I've never been nonviolent, but I've always been against violence. But I can never say it's completely off the table because if this is the future of what we're going to have representatives, we're going to have to do something in drastic times, call for drastic measures. We've been in drastic times. This is what we're going to be dealing with if we don't run for office.
Okay, Gabriel. Do you know what money's backed by? Let's see if you can answer the simplest fucking question. Do you know what money is backed by?
I mean, we went off the.
I didn't answer that.
Don't
go. Just answer the question, bro. It's a one-word answer, bro.
It's really how much the government really says.
No, that's just okay. I'm gonna try again. It's a one-word answer, bro.
It's not
Before I just completely think you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, please tell me what is the money backed by? You can say one of two words.
It's not backed by. There's not an answer because it's nothing.
Okay,
we're not off the goal.
It's backed by our military. You could have said that, or it's backed by debt. Those are what our two things are. It's the two things you could have said, and you didn't say that. So you don't understand what the fuck you're talking about, bro.
What did you say?
Our military and debt. That's what our money is backed by. If you don't understand that concept,
I said that in the space 2 hours.
Okay. So now that you understand that,
I've already said that in the space. That a lot of our money.
Can you shut the fuck up?
You're not gonna cuss at me, bro.
Okay, because you constantly talk. I can't even get a point out.
I've been interrupted.
You let me know when you done, master. You let me fucking know when you done. Go ahead. Let me know when I can talk, bitch.
No, anyways,
Gabriel, you would not talk. Gabriel, you would not talk to a Dominican this way because we know them. Y'all know Dominicans don't be playing with you. Hey, so you ain't gonna talk to a descendant of American slaves in our country this way either. Talk to Art like you would talk to a Dominican. Keep your head low and whisper and only speak when you're allowed to.
DJC, I appreciate for you giving me the space. I have to go now to go to a hoop session. Thank you for everybody for listening to me. I know
You're
we
just
disagree.
going to
I know we
brainstorm
disagree. I
and
know
you
we
can sell out
disagree.
descendants of American slaves. Listen, DJ, listen, I ain't doing nice Negro with you. You are a threat to my people. And the scary thing is there's
So
plenty
I
out there
appreciate
like
the
you.
conversation. I know we have many
Kennedy,
No,
disagreements.
you don't.
I
You
appreciate
came
the
Kennedy,
in
conversation.
bad faith. You couldn't
Kennedy,
even answer simple
All right,
questions,
Kennedy,
General. I
Gabriel.
appreciate the conversation.
You just did a lot
I
Kennedy,
of
have to go
babble.
now.
That's all I heard. A
Kennedy.
So I
lot of
really
babble,
appreciate you for talking to me.
circular
There,
bullshit.
everybody who's talked to me, spoke to me. John down there, I really appreciate y'all talking to me, having a civil discourse.
And notice when we said the dollar and somebody
Exactly.
quantified it as backed by debt, he
You
wants to
have
leave.
not proven one thing.
You
All
literally
you are
can't
going to
spend
do
money
right
without
now.
going into the debt, Gabriel. That was the point, bro.
Y'all, first of all, my last name, y'all are wrong.
So it's
Fact support
infinite.
me, and
It's
I'm out.
No,
infinite,
they
bro.
don't. No, they don't. The only
And
thing
you
that
know it.
supports you
That's
is
why you're running now.
your little cadre of coons.
That's exactly why he ran. The minute we quantified what the dollar was backed by, this motherfucker ran.
Warnock lets his dog kiss him in the mouth.
Uh, Muffled Nellin. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm late to the discussion. When I came in, y'all were talking to Gabriel. I just wanted to make 2 points. I see that the title of this is the Great Immigration Debate. When I first came in, I heard someone discussing the Democrats and Republicans, and I just wanted to point out that neither party has the exclusive right to exist and solely be the only parties we vote for. If we wanted to create our own parties, we would have just as much legitimacy as them. We just have to believe that we can do it. The other point is that if I don't know if anyone is aware of this, but back in 1955, President Eisenhower deported over 1 million Mexicans. It was called Operation Wetback. So back then, the government did have a policy where they enforced their laws and made sure that everyone abided by the immigration policy. The reason we see what we see today, where the borders are basically open, is that because both parties are actively engaged in undermining the policy. It's a concerted effort. I don't know what can be done about it, but we do have to realize that it's just not a democratic policy. It's both a Democratic and Republican policy, or both party, or one or the other party would take actions to stop it, either in Congress or when they win the presidency. But we see neither party has tried to stop immigration, which, of course, we all know hurts us.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Go ahead.
I'll stop there.
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
yo, DJ. I posted in the Jumbotron. There's Colin Powell talking about where they get the money. Is the Fed Reserve lying to us? Is Treasury.gov lying to us? I don't get it.
Was it it's over 900 and something trillion dollars that's in the Federal Reserve? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's in volume, bro. Which means it's actually greater than that because you can make money off of that in percentage throughout the year. So it's greater than that number. That's just volume. You see what I'm saying? They could literally pull out a trick bag out of that 1,000 times over. And he knew that. That's what I was trying to get him to say the dollar was backed by debt. And the minute he quantified that, he bounced.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Freeman.
Peace, 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 peace. Got DJC, great host, great space. As usual, a lot of heavy hitters in here. FBA family, Freedmen family. Great immigration debate. What exactly is the debate? These off-code immigrants, both white, gotta say the H for the hate, and the black immigrants, they are a part of the white degenerate white supremacist agenda, and they are the enemy. Um, I don't even think it's a debate. We know who they are. A lot of us are on the ground pushing black against them. So we're advocating and fighting for our reparations. We're here to take over this system, or even by alternate means, do other things to neutralize those in power to enact and enforce justice, the ultimate justice in the form of reparations, if you ask me. So, yeah, I appreciate this space and a lot of things that was said. John Horst said, "Yo, look, give me the money. I know y'all got it. These Native Americans, they getting money, and we talking about infinite checks. This is infinite
Exactly.
direct cash payment. So it won't be one payment. We know reparations is not limited to direct cash payments, but that's what we're focusing on right now. This is a comprehensive, systematic plan and agenda for the American freedmen. So it will be inclusive. You want to be inclusive and diverse. Be inclusive and diverse with the motherfucking reparations, monetary compensation, restitution, rehabilitation, closure, satisfaction, and guarantees of non-repetition, non-repetitive Jim Crow laws. Meaning, if you start legislating and enforcing more black codes, things like that, then the reparations claim begins all over again. So that's not closure. The only way we get closure is to enforce it and maintain the power for us, so that um, there will no longer be any type of um, black codes or Jim Crow or even gentrification and mass incarceration enacted against us. So yeah, this immigration debate, um, first of all, to all immigrants, you're welcome, because they're here because of us, and we are the only non-immigrants in this country. We didn't come over here by choice. You're only an immigrant if you come over here by choice. You came over here by choice. We came over here in chains and we made it great. We specialize in creating nothing out of something. And we specialize in creating something from nothing or little to nothing. That's what we call lemons with lemonade, or lemons to lemonade, whatever the fuck. That's what we do. We are the greatest freedom fighters of all time, and we will make sure we get our justice by any means necessary. We specialize in Mission Impossible. And there's a lot of people in here right now on this space, a lot of people on social media, in the reality, in the real world, who make sure we're going to get the job done. We don't stop, and we never will. So, fuck all the off code piece of shit Asian immigrants, racists, the Hispanic piece of shit, racists who self-identify as white, even the and salute to the black Hispanics, because I'm very familiar with a lot of them, and they know what the fuck their own community do, and they say, fuck that, I'm black. I may be Puerto Rican, but I'm black. You see what I'm saying? And these European immigrants, Irish, Italians, fuck all of them who are against the justice for American freedmen. And we appreciate the very small and few in between who are with us and support us. But they know that they got to take a supportive role, and they respect that. And they know if there's no American freedmen FBA justice, then nobody else gets justice, because we at the bottom. We are the litmus test for everybody else. Asians don't say, well, I may not be white, but I'm not Asian. Everybody says, at least I'm not black. I may be poor, but I'm not Asian. Nobody says that shit. Nobody. No other group of people say it. They all say, I may be poor, whatever, but I'm not black. So, yeah, that immigrant shit. Listen, man, we know who they are. There's been a lot of that filth and attacking the black brother who was calling out the Asian racism in Queens and all over New York City. And I'm sure it's not just in New York City, it's all over the country. This is an entire system that we're fighting against. This is an entire system. So it's not just in New York. I'm sure there's over there Asians maybe in Georgia, or white supremacists, anti-freedmen racists, all over the country, even globally outside of the country. So fuck all of them. That's the immigration debate. Fuck all of them. I'll crash my plane.
Yeah. They got the money. They got the money for reparations. Like I just like that video literally put everything into
There you go.
perspective
That's what
for
I
me.
was trying to do. I
They
had him. When the
got the
minute he
money.
said that the money was backed by debt, he knew he was had his lights out, bro.
They have the money. When you see the Native Americans and how much money that them people is getting, bro, they literally them people don't work, bro. They do not work. They getting $100,000 per tribesman. You know what I'm saying? And people sitting here like sitting there saying, "Oh, Black Americans lazy, don't work," and all this other stuff. Like, bro, they don't work. They literally said it on the video. Like, these are the wealthiest Native American tribes, and one of the tribes, like, they literally get so much money that they don't work. So they do have the money. You know what I'm saying? I want the same thing that the Native Americans is getting. I want them casinos. I want the $100,000 check every year, every month. Don't matter, bro. Like, we deserve reparations. Anybody who's against Black Americans not getting reparations for chattel slavery, Jim Crow, everything that's happened to us in this country, they're the enemies of us, bro. So yeah, we might, and we might have to. A lot of people saying that we're kind of going backwards. I think in a certain sense, I believe we actually have to go backwards because the thing, if you remember what Dr. Claude Anderson said, you know, what we should have been fighting for during the civil rights movement, we shouldn't have been fighting for social integration. We should have been fighting for reparations. We literally during the 60s, that's what we should have been fighting for. So I think we need to go backwards. We need to have a second civil right. This is like a second civil rights movement. And essentially, this is the time for us to get this right now. We're fighting, we're not for social integration. We're not fighting for friendship. We're not fighting for nothing. We're fighting for power. And that power is going to come through reparations.
Go ahead, Mel.
Hey, what's up, family? I thank you for letting me speak. Shout out to everybody. Hey, when I was sitting there listening, and shout out to Marcel, shout out to the doctor. That vigorous defense and holding this Gabrielle guy accountable is exactly what we need. That was hot fire, and I love that. And when Gabrielle, to find out that his parents are were are now citizens, and he was born here, so he has all the citizenship rights. This to me, and it's going to get a little gray right here, but this to me is why I'm going to use the term CRT has to be mandatory in our school. I know people have issue about we don't want these people teaching this and this and that. Here's the thing: the immigrants that are and the undocumented that are in our country now, when they get ready to go to school, the goal is to take anything that's educational about Black American history off the table. So they get to learn everything except for about us, the real truth about us. This is why we have to push that, because they already come to this country with a negative mindset, believing all of the stereotypes, negative stereotypes about Black Americans before they even hit this soil. And then they get here and then they see our own government treating us like we are those stereotypes. So we have to work hard to legislatively make sure that our history, the full portion of our history, is not legally deleted from the educational system. They need to go to school one day, learn about Black Americans, and walk up out of there and have a problem with their parents and anyone else that denied them the truth about our history. Put some respect on our name, on our history. Land my plane, and thanks for letting me speak.
And you want to know what's funny? I think the real reason why they really started trying to like really erase that up out of the schools is during 2020 when everything was happening. I think a lot of the kids were coming back to school and they were asking us like, "Hey, like, why are the Black people out here doing all of this stuff? Why they running up on people? Why they doing all of this stuff? So a lot of the children were asking questions like, "Hey, what's going on?" And you know what I'm saying? And somebody had to answer for it. You know what I'm saying? Because so I kind of look at it like this. I remember Dr. Anderson, he was speaking, he was like, you know what? To hell with actually teaching people, you know what I'm saying, about the history. You're going to learn one way or the other. Because if you don't learn in the class, you're going to learn when somebody hand it to your ass.
And you know what? And just to piggyback, this is why this guy is 20-something years old, and he sounded like he had total disdain for black people. That's why he didn't mind supporting Warnock. This is why he was very cavalier about any concern that was being brought up. Well, y'all be all right, y'all be all right, y'all be all right. No, Gabrielle, we gonna be all right, but we're not gonna let you be all right. You don't get to come in here and run because by default you are a citizen. So now you can run for a political office with no holds barred. But you don't give a damn. You have no concern. At least that's what you demonstrated to me in this Twitter space, that you have no care for Black Americans. And now you have the audacity to try to get up and have the legal ability legislatively to put us and keep us in a trick bag. Hell no. You sit your ass in this classroom, kindergarten through grade 12, and you're going to learn today. I'll land my plane.
And the crazy thing is, man, he should be holding, they should be holding spaces about, them receiving reparations from France. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see too many people, from like the diaspora, you know what I'm saying, talking about their reparations claim. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's focusing on us. It's like, niggas, like, we're gonna be fine. We don't need, you know what I'm saying, everybody else's help. We're gonna be fine. We've been holding it down for 500 years, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't had nobody reaching out to us sitting there saying, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, the Black Americans can seek refuge and seek asylum and everything like that. Nobody was doing that for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we seek asylum in each other and our people, our families, right here. You know what I'm saying? We've never, you know what I'm saying, there is no country on this planet, no nation on this planet that has told us, we see what y'all going through. You know what I'm saying? We'll help y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be fine. But, you know what I'm saying? I think these other people, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? They see us handling our business, you know what I'm saying, here in America. They should focus in on the countries and the nations that aggrieve them. You know what I'm saying? Haiti needs to focus in on France. Jamaica needs to focus in on Britain. You know what I'm saying? Dominican Republic needs to focus in on Spain. Puerto Rico, Spain. Cuba, Spain. They need to just focus in on that. And I think, you know what I'm saying, once they really start cleaning the house and getting everything in order where they come from, I think, you know what I'm saying, they'll be better off.
Oh yeah, I appreciate your contribution.
Yeah, ain't not a problem.
Yeah, go ahead, BW, and then Muffin Melon.
Yeah, I agree with the lady that spoke a minute ago. I don't see her. But anyway, I agree with what she's saying. I used to be that person. When my kids was in school, used to fight because I used to tell them, why are people not in these um, textbooks? I said Black history should be mandatory because it's all Black kids coming there. But nobody supported me. It's like our people sometimes are too content. They just settle for what these white people tell them. But also, you have some Black people, and I don't know what's wrong with their mind. They fighting so tough against the critical race theory because they're afraid to hurt the white people. And they'll forget about the pain they put upon us, but they don't care about that. They're just so offended about you're going to hurt the white people. I think it definitely should be mandatory in the school system, but we don't want the white people to teach it. I could be in the school books, which those school books is outdated any damn way. They should be in the. If you really want to tell the world history, then tell the world history. Don't pick and choose. So that should be part of the curriculum. But I do want Black people to actually teach it, but it needs to be done. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, once them kids started asking them questions, that's what triggered them. They was like, damn, bro, like our kids coming home asking mommy, daddy, why so and so not hanging out with me at school today? Why they pushing me away? Why they doing this? Why they outside knocking over everything? Why is everybody doing that? And that's when they realized they was like, holy fuck, the kids asking questions. And that's the thing. They asking questions. They're gonna start doing research on their own. And they was like, nigga, we gotta take this out of the class because the next generation, that's the thing that they fear. They know that the kids are sitting there. The kids are very simplistic and logical in how they handle stuff. If somebody hit me, we gonna hit them back. So they understand that. So, that's why they trying to take the history out of the schools as quickly as possible, because the children know if they're doing this to black people, okay, and this white supremacy thing is a problem, okay, well, what are we going to do about white supremacy? The kids are going to start asking those questions.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Muppet. Go
All
ahead.
right. Yes, I'm here. I just wanted to touch on the subject of reparations and strategy. I observed during the last election that even though some Democrats were losing their races, they still refused to bring up or address reparations. And that leads me to believe that no matter what, and notwithstanding California, no matter what, neither party in the next election cycle or beyond will take reparations up as an issue unless we do something drastic to force them to. And this led me to look back to the 1930s during the Great Depression. People don't realize it, but the only reason that Roosevelt passed a lot of those welfare laws and other legislation that actually ended up helping the country was because most of the country was in revolt. They don't talk about this too much in the history books, but you had other parties, labor parties, the Communist Party, and a few other parties. There were widespread worker strikes. And what that did, those actions forced the president to make a compromise to prevent the country from taking a course that the industrialists didn't want it to take. So what I'm saying is we have to look at strategies to force their hand, because how do you coerce the government or both political parties that don't even want to discuss reparations to begin taking it seriously? Maybe we can discuss what that would be. I mentioned not dealing with Democrats, Republicans, start forming our own political organizations, do other things, depending on the state you are, to let them know we're not playing with them. But the only time they'll take us seriously is if they see that they're losing us. And it's not just no reparations, no vote. It has to go beyond that. They have to know that we're not only just not cooperating with them, they need to know that we're actually challenging them, as if starting our own parties or taking actions to clog up the system, because that's the only thing that got us an 8-hour workday or other social benefits that were passed in the 30s and beyond. People actually had to get out there and show them if they didn't get in line with what we wanted, things wasn't going to work out for them.
I know exactly.
My plane there.
I know exactly what you're getting at. Yeah, I take it even a step further. It's when we start governing ourselves. When we start saying that, okay, we're not dealing with the political process. That's a dangerous thing, because, essentially, the logical thing to do, you just handle things with logic. You'll start to govern your own self. You become your own government. Therefore, you produce your own justice. And that's a very scary thing for them, that's a very scary thing that they don't want to happen. Because if anything, we get to that point, what I'm saying, that's essentially where we were in the 60s. We were doing our own thing. We'll get our own justice and do what it is that we'll say what we're going to do. Since, what I'm saying, you won't fix white supremacy, we'll fix it for you.
Exactly. Hey, I'm gonna go with B More, Art Appeal, and then BW. Got some new people coming up. So anybody want to be co-host, just let me know.
Uh, what's up, fam? I'm gonna start by this. You know, never trust white people to make your food, and never trust white people to tell the stories of black people. I hold and I stand on, we have never controlled our curriculum. Not once in fucking history. We have never controlled we have never controlled the curriculum of any school. Not an HBCU, not a foundational white college, not a foundational dog college. We have not controlled the curriculum of any school. So therefore, what our children have been learning is simply because we're in the information stage. We don't control curriculums on a massive scale. And this is something that we need to tackle, because when you don't control the curriculum, you don't control the narrative. You may speak and you can change the narrative, but you don't control it. And you talk about real control. This is something that we need to tackle. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this, we're not debating our equals here. These motherfuckers are not our equals. You feel what I'm saying? That's why they trying to eliminate their offspring for even learning this brutal ass one-sided degenerative history that they have. You know what I'm saying? But all we could keep doing is gaining more and more control by codified actions, individually and collectively. You know what I'm saying? I love how we chopping it up in these spaces. This has been probably the most productive fucking week I've seen in Twitter spaces since I've been on here. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the space. I'm proud of y'all, especially my young man OG down here in the space. My young 18-year-old up in here, man. He's a young 18-year-old and he's amongst us. So we definitely fucking doing something right. I just say we get more codified and start tackling these issues and stop and don't let up. Remember, progress is a trick. Progress is a trick. If you're still in progress, that means the mission ain't done. So it ain't no time to celebrate. I love all y'all, man.
Yes, thank you very much for your contribution. I'm gonna go with Arterfield, BW, and then DC Scotty.
Yeah, that last video I just posted in the Jumbotron, I updated it from the previous one. It now has the last 3 Fed chairs saying they got the fucking money. Please share that around because I'm tired of hearing this bullshit. They don't got it. So this is clarity that they, out of their own mouths, they got it. And that's beside the shit I posted about the Treasury.
Go ahead, BW.
Yeah, we definitely got to be on code for anything to happen. Me, myself, I believe we should do a massive boycott. I know it's hard for people to imagine, but we got to do something drastic. Stop talking. Just do something. Let people know we mean business. We know some people do stuff individually, but in order to hurt the economy, we need to do a massive boycott to let them know we mean business. Those are the type of things that get their damn attention. When we shut their ass down, they'll definitely get their attention. Black people don't realize how much power we had. I even seen a video where this Asian man said the same thing, but we seem to not get it for some reason. We act like we have to shop with these people. We don't. It's a choice, but we don't want to do the work to make it happen. That's our problem. We like to bitch on these sites all day, but don't do the work. We have people on here saying they know all these politics and they got the legislator, they know people. So what is you doing to help us? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How is you helping us getting our reparation? I'm tired of all these talks. You know something to make it happen. Also, I seen this video. No, not a video. I seen something online. I read somewhere where these Mexicans so mad that we may get reparations. Now they're trying to say they was enslaved and we should get it and all that. So people's coming at us in all ways. So we got to stick together no matter what. And also, when they talk about this money thing, how much they're giving us, we shouldn't even look at that if they can afford it. We just need to proposition them and tell them this is what we want and demand it. Don't worry about it. Let them figure out how to give it to us. That shouldn't even be something in our mind. We say what we want and mean what we say. And just stick to that. Don't worry about if they can figure it out or not. Just like they figure out to help other people, let them figure out how to help us. And don't be afraid. So that's my take on it.
Go ahead, DC Scotty.
Hey, thanks for letting me speak. Peace to the room. I just wanted to talk about a book that I've been reading. I've talked about it in a couple other spaces. Um, the book is called How Change Happened, Why Social Movements Succeed and Why Others Don't. It's a really good book. I think it's a really good introduction to grassroots organizing and how some of the most successful movements over the past 40 years were able to get what they wanted. I think it's really good for people who are just getting into politics, who don't know where to start, and who don't understand or don't have an idea as to, what it takes to actually win. Because a lot of this is new to a lot of people. This is the new civil rights movement of our era, and people are just now getting into this. She looked over hundreds of different sources. She spoke to all the movement leaders, and she found 6 defining characteristics that made it success, that made these movements successful. I think it's a really good idea to take a look at this book. Also, I recommend, if people don't know, The Color of Money. It's a crash course on really what happened to Black Americans all the way from the late 19th century all the way up to the 21st century, all the discrimination we've experienced. It really arms you with facts and statistics. So those 2 books I really recommend for folks who are just now starting to get into politics. I'm learning civics myself. I'm no expert, so this is all new for me too. Sandy Darity's From Here to Equality is also um, mandatory reading in my opinion as well. So, but again, the book is called How Change Happens: Why Social Movements Succeed While Others Don't. And they also had instances that are very similar to what we're going through in terms of the states of atonement, the acts of atonement that are happening in different states. Back during the civil rights movement, they in 1964 the Civil Rights Act was passed. In 1964, when the Civil Rights Act was passed, half of U.S. states had already enacted employment laws banning discrimination based on race, and these type of things can help create a context for a federal push. Right now, the state-by-state strategy that is uniquely tailored to fit very different political, legislative, and cultural landscapes in each of the 50 states. Those states which advocates believe would be the strongest appetite for reparations could be the first battleground states. So we have states like California, states like Oregon, states like New York that are trying to work on reparations task force. And if we can get in front of these task force and mold them to our liking, there could be a really good push and create a context for our final federal push. I think reparations can take place within 10 years. I think we have to have it done within 10 years, mainly because many of our elders who are born during Jim Crow are still alive, and I think it's really important that we get reparations while they're still alive. So I'll land there.
Yes, thank you again, DC Scotty. I'm gonna go with the next person who's up.
I think it was OG.
Okay, OG, go ahead, and then Miss T.
Brothers and sisters, it's good being in space with you guys again. Um, I don't care if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I love spending time with you. You make my day. Should we boycott? And I'm actually glad that you've put that question in the Jumbotron, because I wanted to respond to BW, and basically say, I agree with you. I know that boycotting is effective, but I also think that we have to be strategic, because stopping the flow of the black dollar, because we are an extremely large economy, is not enough. We have to send a permanent message to a lot of these companies. And the way that we do that is we replace them. We don't just stop funding them and aiding their operations, but we replace them entirely with our own brands, especially when it comes to things that are easier to replace, like clothing and things like that. The second thing is, when we talk about boycott, I feel like we are the largest consumer of entertainment. When you look at what we consume as far as like entertainment, culture, sports, stuff like that, I get really disgusted, quite frankly, when I see black people, watch the NFL, because I think of my brother Colin Kaepernick and how much courage it took to fight against a system that, despite the system that he's in, trying to discourage him. And we have so many $40 million slaves today that are not in positions to speak up, but they have the audacity to try to speak on behalf of the community, even though they're not in these spaces. You get what I'm saying? So I think boycotting is a good foundation, but ultimately we have to replace these companies, because these companies not only don't really give a fuck about us, they actually benefit from our labor. They benefit from prison labor. They benefit from keeping us as a labor class, so they have no incentive to see us free ourselves. Um, as far as the NFL and a lot of these media corporations, part of the problem is that they don't respect us. They don't respect us because we don't respect ourselves enough to turn off the TV and really, challenge the type of stuff that they promote. And so I'll just land my plane with that.
So we should do counter economics to combat that's everything. But go ahead, Missy.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Great space, and I see everybody here. I know I'm in the right room when I see a couple of names. But BW, I am with you wholeheartedly on boycotting. I mean, Black women alone, if we did only let Black nail techs do our nails, if we only buy beauty supplies from Black owned beauty supply stores, if we stop letting Dominicans burn our hair out, frying it to death. I mean, Black women alone, we could shut down the African hair braiding where they're pulling our edges out anyway. We can definitely do a boycott and keep our money in our own community. So I would love to team with you, work something out, and maybe we could host a space together and do a call to action on starting a boycott. Um, OG, it's good to see you in the room. I sat in one of your spaces for the first time, and you are a very impressive young man. And I see you doing great things for the community. And I did have another point. I'm going to post in the Jumbotron something that Cori Bush said on her Twitter space, where she was big upping the Latina workers and them getting equal pay. It's time for us to run. I know Marcel says it all the time. But if these people that we elected to Congress are getting there and they are totally ignoring us, ignoring our needs, not putting our needs up at all, it's time for us to run somebody against them and get them the hell out. Also, with these immigrants that are in a position, it's time that we run somebody against them who is with our agenda. And yes, it's going to take work. We're going to have to put money behind these people and run them against these people that are against us. We got these immigrants, they're in office, and they don't want Black people to get reparations. I don't know what it is about that. So it's time that we sit down and formulate. Okay, there's an immigrant in this um, area. Who lives in that area? Who's ready to be trained on how to run for office? And let's get these people out of here, y'all, that are killing our movement. And that's all I have to say. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I land my plane.
Hey, I just wanted to say too, the real reason why a lot of the immigrants don't want us to get reparations, I want y'all to always remember this. They get two incomes. They get two incomes. They get their income and they get yours. So understand, when you start opening up those businesses and stuff like that, their income is going to get cut in half. They won't have our income to pretty much benefit a lot of their businesses. So that's the reason why a lot of them have an issue with it. Not just because they're also getting money, but because they're going to actually have to compete against our economy too. When I land.
Going back to
Oh, can't hear. Hello?
I said Hilda, BW, can y'all hear me?
I can't hear.
Hilda,
Hilda.
Hilda, go.
Hilda, BW, then coach.
Hi, how are you? DJC, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Peace to everybody in the room. I absolutely agree that we should boycott. I think that would be one of the most effective things that we can do. It's pretty much what a lot of these corporations and businesses understand is when you affect their pockets. The only problem we have is being able to come together as a collective in order to effectively boycott, which means if not all of us, then it's going to take a lot of us to do that. Because if we were to come together as a collective and do it, I guarantee you we would have reparations because we spend trillions of dollars. And just the women in hair products is like over what $1 billion we're spending in that in hair products and stuff like that. And we spend the money, but we just are giving it to other communities and all of these corporations that don't do anything for us, don't invest in our communities. And why are we doing it? If we were to boycott and stop giving our money to these other communities and corporations and start, supporting our own businesses, Black-owned businesses, Black American-owned businesses, whatever you want to call it, we would definitely have reparations, and we'll be wealthier as well. But getting everybody on getting everybody on board or on code together, that's the problem because we don't have any media really to reach thousands of people. It's good for us on this space, but it's not enough of us on this space to actually get on the same accord. And I think that's one of our problems. But I think if we come together, we can probably resolve that issue of actually reaching out to thousands and thousands of people. You going out? Thousands and thousands, thank you. Thousands and thousands of people so we can get on code and actually or effectively boycott.
Yeah, go ahead, BW, coach, and then Arthur Pill.
Oh, well, I agree with that. I think his name was John when he said we need to have our own. We definitely, as far as our business, we definitely need that. But I think we still need to do that boycott first. Me myself, I do. Every time I hear about a black business, I send it to everybody on their phone that I know to make sure that they know that you ain't got to go to these people. Just like it's a new shoe store, but this black owner have a shoe store downtown. I told all the male men that I knew to support this brother. So I pass all my information on every time I hear about any black owned businesses. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do because a lot of people don't even do no research and try to support our people. And a lot of people like to make up excuses. All Asians ain't bad. Okay, they may not be, but they do things as a group, and we have to do the same. We shouldn't look at no individual basis because they don't do it. We mean business just like they do. We want our money. We want to be financially stable just like everybody else. And so we should never look at on the individual basis. And I just want us to just It's hard for us to come together. It's very hard because I've been trying to stop people from going these places. Some of them finally coming around. But it's like we don't have that mindset for some of us, not all of us, to want to put in the effort. I don't know if they don't believe it or they're just comfortable going. We make up excuses when you go to the Asian shops saying, oh, they convenient, but everybody go there have a car. So you can go anywhere you want to. It's not like you walking there, everybody driving there. So it's like they make up excuses after excuse, which don't make any sense. For some reason, our people have the mindset think we're supposed to be abused and taken advantage of. It's like because we don't want to mentally change things though. We're comfortable or something. I don't know. It's sort of messed up for us. But I just really believe in our heart and our soul if we just was to come together and think strategically, we will make it happen because they've done it before in the past. If they've done it before in the past, we could do it again now. But we just need to come together mentally. So that's it.
Hello.
Oh yeah, go ahead, coach.
I was this is my first time ever actually listening to you guys, but I had well, they already said what I was going to say, but when they were saying something about the us, first of all, we do not come together collectively, and we all see that. Well, what just happened with the issue with Deion Sanders, but that's a whole nother can of worms we dealing with right there. I think that we need to have people that are in our community that have high positions that also agree with what's being said in here. Go out to a lot of these celebrity people, like with Kyrie Irving. He's now working with it's a black oh God, what's his name? Sia. I forgot the rest of the I'm sorry about that company's name to get his shoes produced by him. And that's the problem. We don't have a lot of people who are higher up in the food chain, the money chain of black people coming together and saying, you know what, I'm gonna stop going to Balenciaga. I'm gonna stop going to what's the other one? Versace. I'm gonna stop going to companies like that and I'm gonna look within my own community for all the talent that we have because all the designs and stuff they use, they don't stole somewhere from our history. And it's been proven. They just showed a picture of a model who was walking a runway with an African hairstyle, but the people who gave her that hairstyle, they stole it from Africa, and they put it on for oh God, I'm so sorry I don't have the name on. It's on the top of my tip of my tongue, but I cannot remember. And if we came together more united as a united front, we would come together stronger. But honestly, a lot of us can't because we too busy worried about if am I go get a higher job. I'm gonna get $50 if I go to them, but I'm gonna get five, if I come to this person instead of just coming to our own. We are a group of people that are so disenfranchised, hurt, struggling, and we just need to get it together and come together. And it's hard. It's the same people that like they said, someone said earlier about the community, the people with money. If those, period point blank, if those people worked with us, if the rich black celebrities work with black people, we would have more grounds to stand on with a lot of stuff. That's all I gotta say. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, next.
Okay.
Go ahead, Art.
Art was next.
Should we boycott? Yeah. Um, we should be striking too. I've been saying this for like forever. What we need to do before all that is to build a mutual aid network. Um, there's people out there doing it. There's this one group that just did it yesterday. They had a little thing for their 2-year anniversary that they've been doing mutual aid every week for 2 years straight, giving out clothes, giving out food, and they're one of many. I think the problem becomes that the voters are coming to terms with the fact that their government hasn't really been doing much for them, and the non-voters have already been there. Uh, You know what I mean? They're the most adaptable, especially the ones that can vote but don't. They're the most adaptable group. So I say we adapt. Period. I posted some books about direct action, mutual aid, and open education. Um, Biden could be nice and cut all the college debt, and then 4 years later, you got a new group of kids that are in debt. So, open education eradicates debt. Period for education, like it's gone. Mutual aid networks give you the power. I didn't even know this. This was news to me. I thought mutual aid is like child care. I seen a lot of them get the child care. Some got the health care because the stronger your network is, the bigger you can, more services you can provide. But like in Kansas, they literally mutual aided their own electricity. That shit is like next level shit that can't even explain. And so like, and I was even unaware of how powerful that it could truly, because I would have never even thought it could get to power just the way shit was set up. But yeah, it's about us stepping up and doing stuff. If you're not involved with your local mutual aid groups, I would do so. If nothing else, you might have to utilize them at some point. You know what I mean? And that's where it differs from charity. It's like charity, you give to this charity, and it's like it might go to a cause, and then the money's gone. When you invest in mutual aid groups in your own community, you're building your own backbone because like you can go use that same mutual aid. That's why it's mutual. So you're building something you can use. You're building something your cousin can use. You're building something your friends can use. You know what I mean? Like including yourself. And what's cool about it is once you have a network, you can get it nationwide. And if you like when they were there was groups go out there doing pull-ups. Imagine if they had like mutual aid at every pull-up, like and you know what I mean? Because it was like everybody already had their mutual aid group set up. So it's really the backbone because without it, you ain't going to be able to do the strikes. Some of these strikes, they boycotted and strike this gas station for 66 days. The gas station the guy ended up selling it back to the community. So not only did they get a racist out of there, they got them to pay. The gas station is now making money for the community. That's money in the black community. And it took them 66 days of boycotting to do that. Name me a politician or of some kind of bill or something that's going to get done in that short amount of time. But at the same time, that was 66 people working together for 66 days. That's a feat too. So that's why you need mutual aid. Because some of those people had to take off work. Some of those people are going to need child care. Some of those people are going to need food. Some of those people are going to need water. These are things we have to think about when you do participate in that other realm. Because that is going to be a reality. The whole way it functions is almost inverted. And so I just hope people understand that because it's one thing to say boycotts and it's one thing to do boycotts. And there's a lot that I don't think people understand behind how that actually plays out and why it works the way it does. And that's why I always post all three of those books are PDFs. I know they're kind of long, but you'll thank me later.
Can I ask you what is a mutual aid? What exactly is that?
Mutual aid is a reciprocal system, like something where anything you're involved in is always reciprocatory. So, like, essentially, the simplest way to put it is everybody has to get something in some capacity, and so it works on a free basis. Everything is like donated. It's very difficult to go in and out on it because it's so vast, which is why there's 400-page books on it. But in the simplest thing is this, like, it's a mutual system that works for everybody. Like it's designed to work that way. And it's decentralized, so it's not run by anybody.
So it's
So
like giving to the community, or everybody get together and give it to the community when they're in need. That's what you're talking about.
yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like that's why I say to read the books because people can mutual aid even electricity at this point because people have come up with business plans that like where it helps the community, it's funded by the community, and it's almost a net zero on loss. That's
Okay, so
ultimately.
like put money together as a group.
It doesn't have to just be money. It could be clothes. It could be services. It could be like okay, let's say I'm fresh out of high school and I don't know if I want to go to college. You know how they some kids or even college kids will donate time to be like a student for X amount of time and not even get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like at these certain businesses when they're fresh out of college or fresh out of high school, if it's trade out of high school and like lawyer or something out of college, right? So they literally work for nothing.
An internship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when I first started, because I worked at a $1 billion company so young, they screwed me out of money through that like internship type of shit because they said I wasn't an adult, so they couldn't pay me for that role as an adult. That's how they tried to get the trick bag because they honestly didn't want to pay me like that, not that amount, not at my age. You know what I mean? So that's how I know about it. So this mutual aid is like instead of those kids and those because those that's the community's kids anyway. They should have them in shit that benefits their community that they still like or still do. Like if the kid goes to school and wants to be a lawyer or whatever, there's no reason why he's got to get his court time up anyway. There's no reason he can't donate some pro bono cases in regards to even reparations or donate a certain amount of hours. That's I don't understand why like we can't get like I don't know even 100 lawyers to say fucking they'll give an hour a week. That's 100 hours a week. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do mutual aid.
Okay, I don't mean to jump in front of nobody, but that's similar to what the Arabs do. That's why you don't see any people out there on the homeless in the streets. Because they told me, because I always talk to different people, that they come together as a group. Like if somebody can't pay their bills, they'll pay it. But we don't think like that though. That's what we lacking.
Hey, OG, go ahead.
Thank you. Uh, sisters, brothers, kings, queens in the space. The reason why a lot of black people don't have an interest in looking further is simply because a lot of us don't want nothing that the white man has already provided for us. When you look at the conditions and the things that we go through collectively, it's not a coincidence. They want us to be divided. But I'm not going to go into that because everybody that is in this space, I feel like, already understands that. And I feel like what happens is we get in these talking points and the conversation gets misled, it gets misguided, people start leaving, no one gives a fuck, no one wants to hear 20 minutes of someone talking about something that doesn't have any relevancy, right? I will say this. The black experience is very unique, and I think it's very complex at the same time. And these complexities is why we are very much counterproductive. But it also comes back to the fact that when you think of how much we have been through and how much we have to overcome, I think a lot of it comes back to the fact that so many of our people or people that look like you and me are not necessarily the ones that have been chosen to do the work. Because if it was, there would be tens of thousands of people within these Twitter spaces, but they're not. And it wasn't until spaces that I feel like we all really started to connect and build collectively. So I will say that with that being said, um, you know, there was a lot of cultural efforts to destroy what we're building. Even the fact that we're all here together to build is a beautiful thing because Willie Lynch and all of these other societal structures that have been set up for us was never meant for it. And I'll land my plane with that.
Muffet, you can go before me.
Next person.
Okay, I just wanted to remind everyone of one thing, bringing it back to the original topic of this space, and that's that we don't have much time. We're running out of time. This government is allowing millions of illegal immigrants to cross the border and coming from other areas into our country. And and excuse me for being out of breath, I'm doing housework and renovations. What that's going to do is within a generation, it's going to make us less relevant politically, economically, socially. It's going to be a situation where in a generation, their children are going to have more of a preference for jobs than our children because they may be bilingual and our children aren't. So we have to look at that. We have to look at the eventuality, and we have to see that one of the only defenses against that is for us to organize. As long as we organize, it can be around any principle, any issue, but the fact is we need to organize, because once we organize around one thing and we create those relationships, we can move that into any area. All right, we organize around boycotting. Then the relationships we form, we can say, hey, next we can organize around forming a political organization, starting to take back our communities and neighborhoods, get rid of these Democrats or get rid of these Republicans. If enough of us can get in line on code to vote them out, we don't need to always vote for either party. We can vote for people that we know are Black first or pursue our interests. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. That's what's ahead of us. I think that was the original topic of the space, and it's a really serious situation because within a generation, like, the face of this country is going to change, and it's intentional. It's intentional government policy. They want to diminish our vote. We see them. They've already played their hand. We see them voting to give people that aren't even citizens voting rights in places like New York and I believe California. I'm not sure. Oh, DC, right? New York and DC. So we need to realize that they're against us, and it's a tactic to weaken us. And the only thing we can do is unite with each other. I know it's looking at things more in a not altruistic way, something that might not be realistic because we all will never be on the same page. But like those of us right here, if we say, hey, let's take this from Twitter to the real world. We start talking behind the scenes. We bring others into the fold, and with an agenda. You know, we just can't talk about anything. We have to understand our agenda should be, we know what's against us. Let's organize. Let's work to overcome what they're trying to do to undermine us. Whether it's we create our own political parties or organizations, independent of Democrats and Republicans. We look at cities, states, or cities, towns, states with majority Black populations, and we start to send in our members to talk to the people and say, listen, like, there's enough of us here. If we all work together, we can control this city. We can control this town. Kind of like Ferguson, over 70% Black, but yet most of the city council is white. That's ridiculous. So we need to form an agenda. We need to say, hey, our only solution to all of this stuff against us is to organize. And we need to take each other seriously. We need to begin trusting each other, trust but verify. We need to start forming relationships in the real world. It's a shame when, back in the 90s, there was a Million Man March. Everyone come to Washington. They listen to the speakers, then we go home. I can't say that people didn't form relationships, but when we get a big group together, like the past Reparations March in DC, we should all be networking and saying, hey, let's keep in touch. If we all live in, if a certain amount of us live in the same state, let's try to work together to do this. And I'll land my plane there, but I just want to point out that organizing should be our goal. And when we organizing, I guess I'm not landing my plane. There's nothing looking at FBI records, looking at government documents, there's nothing that they fear more than us organizing. So that's what I would push for, and I would want to make that the main point above anything else. And I'll land my plane.
And let me just piggyback off what you were saying. Most definitely, organizing is something that has been on the agenda for them to mess up for a while, and specifically organizing economically. You know what I'm saying? They do not want us to organize economically. When everybody was talking about, boycotting, yeah, boycotts do work, but having a counter to what you're boycotting is even better. So if you're gonna boycott the nail salons, like the lady was saying, you got to have a counter to another nail shop that you go to. So what I'm saying, we need, what I'm saying, Black women gonna have to start building those, those nail salons and things like that. If you know how to cook you some Chinese food. You open up your own restaurant. You ain't got to be Chinese to open it. You can open up your own Chinese, Japanese restaurants, and what I'm saying, you can make it even better. Italian restaurants, pizza shops, whatever it is, gas stations, corner stores. We just have to have a counter to everything that we have out here right now. So because I know a lot of people was discussing about moving back to the South and everything like that, which is good, but more so when we move back to the South, it should be to organize economically, bring as many Black businesses that you can bring from wherever it is that you're coming from. That's what it is that we should be doing. And then once we get our economic power up, you know what I'm saying? Once we start politicking that way, then we get into politics. Then we get into everything else. So, and I'll just land there.
Yeah, next person.
Well, I'll go right quick to speak on. He had said something, and one thing I work in as a teacher's aide in Illinois, and I work in the predominantly Black school. A lot of people don't realize that we do need to start with our youth too, because we can boycott with our money, but if our children are still going to the corner store that's ran by an Arab, their money is still going into their pockets. They're not going to Miss Shirley's that's up the block a little bit further. It's a little bit longer walk, but they got to get there. And plus, also, what me and my teacher that I work with, what she's doing because she's a social studies teacher, next semester in school, we're implementing um, Black history all the rest of the year because I work with 7th and 8th graders. They do, by law, we have to, teach them the Constitution, but that's a 7-week course. So we're doing that as soon as we come back from Christmas break. But instead of teaching them American history, we're getting together, we're putting together the rest of the school year to where we teach them about Black history because this Friday in school, we were in and out our week talking about Emmett Till. And it is so amazing how many of these children know nothing about Emmett Till, but it's a street in Chicago named Emmett Till. And I was so disheartened, listening to the youth. So it started at home.
Listen to this. Almost. I got the same. I got most of the time.
Yo, DJ, can you mute my